Welcome back. We're going to be reading Parenting and the Future Athlete. This is from the eighth grade PSSA Packet Sampler, Part 2. Part 2. All right, so Parenting and the Future Athlete by Bonnie Kestner. Yale women's varsity swimming captain, 1973 to 1974. Yale women's varsity swimming assistant coach, 1974 to 1976. Delivered April 10th, 1999, as part of a panel presentation for pioneers and competitors, a special event to recognize women's athletics at Yale. Let me begin by saying how delighted I am to be here today and how much it means to me. Yay! Little did I realize when I stepped onto the Yale campus in the fall of 1970 as the only female competitive swimmer that I'd be speaking in front of a distinguished group of alumna and student athletes 28 years later. I'm deeply grateful to Melanie Gunter and the others involved in organizing this event for extending me the invitation. Our topic this morning is parenting and the future athlete, and I would also like to begin by introducing two young athletes who happen to be my son and daughter. They're sitting in the back of this room. My son Wiley is a first year student here at Yale planning to major in art. As a child, he played t ball, baseball, soccer, basketball, and received his black belt in Taekwondo. His first love is soccer, and he started his own recreational traveling team at age 13 since our local recreation department did not sponsor one in his age group. In high school, he was captain and most valuable player of his varsity team for 2 years, and now he plays for on the intramural team for Timothy Dwight and on a recreational league team in the summer. My daughter, Kristen, is finishing her high school senior career by taking courses at Sweetbriar College and will be a freshman at Kenyon College next year. In the last 12 years, Kristen participated in gymnastics, dance, t ball, softball, soccer, horseback riding, and tennis. She was captain on her high school varsity tennis team for the last 2 years and number one seed in singles and doubles this year. In preparing for this talk, I asked both Wiley and Kristen to tell me what they felt was significant about how their parents influenced their participation in sports. Wiley said one of the things that meant the most to him was our coming to his games. He said he always hoped his dad and I would be in the stands when he scored goals in soccer. Kristen said she appreciated the fact that we let her try so many different activities. I can't resist making a comment at this point on how far sports opportunities for girls and women have come in the last 40 years. I can remember as a 9 to 10-year-old going with my younger brother to watch his Little League practice and wishing I could play, but girls weren't allowed. Then there was that fall at Yale when Joni Barnett tried so hard to interest me in synchronized swimming, and I just wanted to be a competitive swimmer, even if it meant swimming with the guys. First point. In parenting, one thing you need to realize is the commitment for you that is involved when your children participate in sports. It's not easy when your child chooses a sport like swimming or ice hockey where practices may be held as early as 5:30 a.m. and you have to be the driver. When both parents are working and there are two or more children wanting to go in several directions, it becomes even more complicated. The activities you and your child choose need to fit in with the priorities and schedules of other members of the family. Be aware that pursuing a sport seriously can mean a major commitment and sacrifices for the whole family. Second point. My second point is to let your kids be themselves. They are not miniature versions of you. Let them seek and pursue activities that interest them. Let me give you an example in the area of music, which can be, by the way, very much like a sport. I have had an interest in and passion for music since I was very young and was eager to have my children experience this as well. When Wiley was 4.5, we started him on piano lessons. He did not turn out to be the young Mozart I had hoped he would be, and in spite or perhaps because of my urging him to practice, he lost interest in pursuing music by the age of 8 or 9. He was too young and he wanted to do other things. Since then, I've learned to let the interest come from the child and then to be there and support them when it does. Wiley's passion turned out to be for oil painting, a field that is completely foreign to me, but he was my 100% support to develop it. When you become very eager to have your child participate in an activity, ask yourself, is this for me or for them? Encourage rather than push. They have to want to do it. As it turns out, I took up playing the organ and piano about 8 years ago and discovered that it was I who wanted to do music and was trying to live this through my son. Now, I do my thing and kids do theirs, and everyone is happy except my husband, who has to put up with my practicing when he wants to watch TV. At younger ages, it is good to let children be exposed and try out a variety of sports and other activities. At age 12 or 13, they will need to make some choices and specialize. You can support them by helping them to identify their strengths and encouraging them to pursue the sports best suited to their abilities and interests. Some parents make the mistake of asking their children um, to specialize too early. The child may get burned out from too much of one activity and then lose out on the opportunity to experience and develop in other areas. Third point. My third point is to play with your kids as well as watching them play. When I asked Kristen what she remembered most about how we as parents encouraged her in sports as a child, she said, I remember how you used to play running bases with us out in the front yard and how we used to go down to the courts and hit the tennis balls together. As a coach, I'd like to offer a few tips for parents. Number one, model good sportsmanship and positive attitudes. When young athletes hear their parents yelling at the refs from the stands, what are their attitudes going to be like down the road? Two, don't try to be the coach unless, of course, you are the coach. If you have a concern or disagree with the coach, discuss it with him or her and not in the presence of the child. To talk negatively to or about a coach in the presence of the child only undermines the authority of the coach in the child's eyes and leaves him or her confused as to who to listen to. Three, support the coach. If you have major philosophical differences of opinion with the coach and you cannot resolve it, it may be appropriate to place your child on a different team or in a different program. Otherwise, support the coach. Number four, perhaps most important, keep winning and losing in perspective. Our culture is obsessed with winning and losing. As far as placing first is concerned, there are only a few winners, sometimes only one. Everyone else may be seen as a loser. You can counteract this by helping your child to see the positive aspects of any competitive effort. Kristen had an experience in tennis where she lost a singles match 6 to 1, 6-0. However, the girl she was playing was ranked number 2 in the state of Virginia, and to win even one game against this player was a real victory for Kristen. This was the best thing to focus on, not the fact that she lost. In situations in which the team is losing, play down winning and losing and help to create opportunities for personal success. Redefine winning as giving it your best effort or making a personal breakthrough. Wiley sent me an email in which he commented on this aspect of his sports experience as a child. I was so frustrated at losing, and I couldn't stand you trying to put a positive light on the game because I was so frustrated by the fact that we always lost. But really, what could you have done? This was just an attitude problem on my part. It could have been much worse if you said negative things about the way we played. And I was then and now am now very proud that you didn't just blame the ref or the coach, who are easy targets and for the most part popular scapegoats that other parents mistreat liberally. In retrospect, your approach was definitely the best one I can think of. Very few children will be the next Michael Jordan or Katie Hazelwood or Helen Hyde. It is best not to pressure them or lay heavy expectations on them to win or to be someone they are not. Encourage them to be the best they can be. Number five, and finally, make it fun. The best gift we can give our children in sports is to help them to enjoy the activity so they will continue to pursue it when they get older, not just as spectators, but as active participants. We have far too many armchair athletes in this country. If you handle kids positively, you can help them learn valuable lessons through sport that will stay with them through life. And don't forget to stay active yourself. We are all kids at heart. All right, what a rock and roll article. Um, I hope you enjoyed it.